Okay, so I'm sharing my secrets with you for free because Google shared the secrets with me for free. And we are talking about the commonality of the word babe and Babel from the Bible. And so people who are of my generation are going to remember Hooked on Phonics and the Baby Babble stuff that was on TV. And I think there was a program called the Baby Babble, and we had Babe Ruth, and the song by Styx. Babe, babe, I'm leaving. I must be on my way. The time is drawing near. Okay, and so apparently I didn't realize either that Taylor Swift has a song named Babe, Babe Pig in the City. And so I mean, it's just something, my goodness, sometimes there's men who use babe as a term of endearment. And I know that's become so controversial, at which to me, um, I, I remember when I was in high school, I have to share this story. There was this guy, and um, I worked with his mom when I was a waitress, and she said that her son wanted to go out on a date with me, and she asked me if I would go on a date with him. Now, there was a period of time where I was dating a boy, and I just told her, I said, I'm seeing someone else, I can't. So eventually, my boyfriend broke up with me, and then she's like, she was like, well, my son would like to go on a date, and I'm like, oh, okay. And so I kind of felt pressured into it. She was just pressuring. She thought that I would be a good candidate for her son. And he was a nice guy. I thought he was. We were kids though, and so I went on a date with him. And he just was out of the blue. He was calling me babe all the time, and I just did not. I was not comfortable with that. Within the first few minutes of just getting to know someone, I just was not at all comfortable with that. And he was calling me babe. And I just remember, and then he was putting his arm around me, getting fresh on me and everything. I did not like that at all. I didn't like that at all. And the funny thing, I remember trying to cross my leg, and then I accidentally kicked his stereo. So, hello, Taryn McLaughlin. Hello. And so he was calling me babe all the time, and this was our first date. He was calling me babe on our first date, and I did not like it. I think I was maybe 16, 17 years old. And so I'm talking today, I'm sharing the secrets with y'all about YouTube and how it works and how search engine. These are just things that I've seen. Now, keep in mind, if I if I could actually make it work to have millions and millions of subscribers, I would have them. So you have to take what I say as something that's fluid and changes. So just because we have Babe as something that's popular right now on YouTube, in the future it might change. But we have to look back and keep in mind of where we came from. So in the Bible, you have Babel, the Tower of Babel. The Tower of Babel has babe in the word, and the algorithm reads babe as in Babel. It could also be baby. And now Taylor Swift has a song called Babe. I had no idea she had that because I don't pay any attention to any of that stuff. But I do now, apparently, because when I put in the word babe, this is what comes up. We've got Babel, Gustavo, Bravaretti. That almost sounds like Pavarotti. My goodness. And Babe and Styx has come up. That is in there, kind of in a gray shadow. But Babe and Styx apparently is still popular. Which, don't you guys wonder why? Because I went into a browser here that's completely clean, incognito. I just typed in Babe, and Babe and Styx comes up with lyrics. And it's like, well, what is pushing? Something is driving the old rock band that most people have no idea of what that song is, but it's still being driven up pretty high because it's over. The song, I think, is over 50 years old. I am bad. Why are you bad? A bad guy. Oh, yeah. Well, we can talk about that one a little bit later in another live stream because I've got about 5 more minutes here. But Benod. I'm not sure what Benod is. Benod. Um, and so this is I'm going on my second. And Taryn McLaughlin is in here. And so the thing is that nobody is there's maybe they're when the networks work together, they're only pushing up their favorite content people. This excludes everybody else. And so I know there's a lot of folks who are really, really upset because they're just getting out of legacy media right now, and they're saying, I know this should work, I know this should work. But what they're not understanding is those of us who have been YouTubers and we just get completely dumped on. Kay, hello, Kay. I know the guitar loop. Yeah, we talk about the loops and strings. And guitar loop actually kind of tied in when I was teaching crochet on YouTube. And the thing is, I had a load of fun. I had loads of fun when I was teaching crochet and when I was making money. I was thinking it was just going to keep going, and it didn't. It didn't. And it's like, well, me talking about crochet and actually teaching it are two different things. But at the same time, I'm thinking it's like, well, do I want to be teaching it? Do I want to be teaching it and going into real depth and detail, putting it on the internet and I'm not getting paid? And the answer is no, I really don't. But right now, Google's making all the money. I mean, all I've done is taught myself how to be a search engine optimization person, maybe make a little bit of funny, silly content along the way, which I'm actually doing pretty good doing that and having fun. So really right now I am teaching for free about search engine optimization, and I'm also making some silly humorous content about things in life, which sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's not funny. I'm doing great, Kay. How are you doing today? I love music. I do. I totally love music. I always wanted to learn how to play the guitar my own self, and I had bought a ukulele. I wanted to learn how to play the ukulele. I paid I paid $119 for the ukulele, and because of how everything ended, I had to leave everything behind. I wanted to learn how to play the ukulele so bad, but now when I don't have a ukulele, so it just seems like it was a waste of money for me. So I bought a few things, and then I had to leave them behind. And I had planted a fig tree. I had to leave the fig tree behind. I actually had planted a fig tree. It was kind of one of those things I planted in memorial for my son. I would imagine that he's probably ripped the tree all to shreds and tore it up and everything, and it's probably not there anymore. But it was just something as a memory to my son. And I think I planted it about April of 2022, or no, 2020. No, I had to leave in 2022. So yeah, I think I might have planted it. Yeah, April, because then it was June I had to leave. So Kay says, I'm good. Thanks for asking. It's 11:54 a.m. in Japan right now. Typo p.m. almost midnight. Oh, so you're in Japan. Yeah, I don't know what time it is in Japan. Doesn't the military have a military base in Japan? I don't know. I've never been to Japan before. So I don't. I know that there are Americans who go there. There's what are they called? The civilian employees will go to Japan, and so they probably don't have. They probably have as miserable a TV as anybody else does. But right now, um, I don't imagine they're missing it right a whole lot right now because I know when I went overseas, eventually I got used to it. Oh, you are in Japan. I didn't know that. That's interesting. I had no idea you're in Japan. So you have to do things to keep yourself entertained. Because I know when I was a military spouse, it was kind of the same thing. You spend a lot of time in isolation. You don't get any TV at all. Now, right now, I'm telling you, in the United States, we have no TV. There's absolutely nothing. Nothing, nothing. People are spending a lot of money to have broadband and cable TV, and there is nothing on it. It's basically like paying $200 a month for 3 TV stations that used to be free TV stations. So, Kay, are you an American citizen living in Japan? Or are you a Japanese person? I guess I never asked that before. When people write English, typically I just assume that they are American citizens who have something to do with the military. Uh, and I know we just came off of D-Day, the bombing of Pearl Harbor. Why don't you watch my YouTube when you have some time? Oh, you're Japanese. I've watched your YouTube channel. I've seen you playing guitar. The thing that I saw, Kay, with your channel is you had some video about Justin Bieber. And so you were playing the guitar and you had a title to a video about Justin Bieber. I mean, if I have the right, I don't know, it's possible. Maybe I don't have the right key guitar person. I'm not sure. But when I went to your channel, you were there, your knees were showing, you were playing guitar. And one of the most recent videos that I saw had something to do about you playing your guitar and Justin Bieber. And that's all I saw. I didn't see anything at all about Japan on there. You were playing your guitar. Oh, yes, that is you. Okay. So if that is you, then you know that I watched your channel because I just told you that. Let me go see what else you got on there. I'll look here real quick before I'm done. Let's see. Okay, so I have to type it in. Let's see. Guitar loop. Guitar loop. Okay. Oh. We don't want that going. Yeah, that might be. Okay, so you got a air pump, if that's right. Something about Nirvana and an air pump. Smells like Teen Spirit. Okay, so yeah, you did Peaches, Justin Bieber, Guitar Loop. And so I don't see anything there about Japan, but what I do see is, let me see here. Oh, okay, so you've put some things about Japan in your video description. Written in Japan, you're a guitarist based in Japan. You create chill, relaxing, ambient solo guitar loop music from your Stratocaster and loop pedal. All your tracks are recorded in one take and mostly improvised. You live stream sometimes. You hope your music makes nice background music for relaxing, studying, or falling asleep. Now, the thing is, we can't use your music. I know that, yeah, you've got Peaches, Justin Bieber, and I know Peaches is popular on YouTube related to the popular YouTuber Jack Black. Isn't that his name, Jack Black? The comedian guy who's kind of roly-poly around the middle. And he does some really extreme content. And so I'm a newbie on YouTube. I started April 1st of 2025. Yeah. I mean, are you working on just doing one topic only? Is that what you're working for? Is just doing guitars and one topic only? I'm curious. So you said you just started in, because I can save you some heartache of one topic only, because I was teaching crochet and that failed. And that failed because it's one topic only. So the internet and Hollywood is not embracing, because the way it's designed, it's a flaw. It's a flaw within the system. And I think people had raised, yeah, you're doing only music content. And so this is one of the things that was raised with, well, yeah, but the people who have ties to legacy media, though, they're paid in different ways. So we have people who just say they want to put a bunch of stuff on YouTube, and they don't want to monetize anything. But the thing, some of them are not being fair because they're paid by legacy media, and or they have other jobs, and so they have no intentions on ever monetizing their channel, because they're paid to do things and just put it on YouTube. And so the thing that I do is I avoid using the celebrities, because I'm not going to promote Justin Bieber because of the fact that he can promote himself. I'm not paid by any of these famous people, so I'm going to avoid them. I'm going to avoid them as much as I can for that very reason. Well, yeah, I mean, the thing is, yeah, you can probably garner some views from something a little bit, but with one topic only, it's going to be really challenging, because I used to be a crochet teacher. So you're not good at talking like I am, so instead I just play the guitar. Well, I mean, you could practice. Now the thing is with live streaming, you have enough people to live stream. You have plenty of people to live stream. So what you can do is, practice. This is what I would recommend. Just put it on unlisted or private. Do a live stream in private and practice a little bit. And, talk about things. Talk about whatever you want to talk about. But at the same time, I wouldn't be too personal about it, because of the fact well, you're in Japan, so it's not going to matter. It's only the people in the United States who are tremendously mean to people who are YouTubers. Okay, so you did 7 live streams 7 times already, and it was fun. Yeah, it is fun to do live streams. It is a lot of fun to do live streams. New York City to meet you this time. New York City. I don't know what you're talking about, New York City. I've never been in New York City before. I only flew through there one time. I was told that did not count. New York City did not count. Where did I land at? I think we landed at JFK Airport in New York City when I was flying from the United States over to Frankfurt. And that didn't actually count. Today, what's today? What special yours? Some new changes? No, there's no new changes in life at all. Things are still the same. There's still no help whatsoever related to the things that are going on. No, nothing special. Absolutely nothing special at all. Now, special is probably a good word as well. Oh, special. Special operations? Is that what we're referencing as special ops, maybe, or something like that? Special K? Oh, Special K cereal. That's a good tie-in, because you can get some really good ideas of search engine optimization just by going into a grocery store. Today, some good news. You have some good news for me today, or you're just saying that good news? So if you don't mind my asking, what time is it there? It is 11:05 a.m. in the morning. That's what time it is here. And so let me look at your live streams. Okay, so you did live streams related to a relax study. The words, I'm going to tell you this right now. If you're going to work on YouTube, the words are most important. The words on the internet is what garners views. That's just how it works with trends. That's just how it works with popularity. The words that you use, yeah, and numbers. The numbers do play some roles in it too. I'm gonna Kay. How about you write a song and use Donald Trump in the title of your song? Just give it a try and see what happens. You can probably play your guitar. You can probably play your guitar. Oh, you have really good views though from 3 weeks ago with your guitar loop live, relax, study, work, sleep. You have 427 views. Um, I mean, can you work in something? Just you try it once. A lot of people say they don't do politics. Now, if you okay, you can make a video, avoid politics, but if you don't want to use a politician's name, you could call it a trumpeter swan, or you could call it the trumpets of the mountain, or Trump notes from beyond, or something like that, or trump cards from the tables, just something to work that name in, so it's not politics. So I have a thing that I use to distinguish and separate politics from using the word. So under the First Amendment in the United States, which is what we can separate the word from actually what constitutes an additional attachment to the word, but the word is still attached. So by Trump is my friend. Yes, you could just say, hi, Trump is my friend. Yeah, if you have I mean, you might know a friend named Trump, or maybe when you were a child, you had an imaginary friend named Donald Trump, possibly. I mean, the name Trump is just not unique just to that man by himself, because if you look at the casinos, you've got the Trump card. In band, okay, Kay, you would know this. In band, you've got the trumpet. So you said you do chill guitar. Now, can you work a trumpet somehow in with your guitar loops, maybe? You said you make unique sounds. So can you work a trumpet somehow in guitar trumpet or something like that in with your sounds? Maybe it might help, maybe it won't. But you want to also just not get stuck on Trump, because there's going to come a point he's no longer president. So that means the views are probably not going to come in like they were while he was president. So you want to actually spread yourself to doing other things, because then you're going to lose the views once Trump is no longer president. So you need something else to push up your channel to make it sustainable. And that's what I found with crochet. Now, when I was teaching crochet, I prefer to play Yellow Submarine instrumental version, not Trump. Oh, by the Beatles? Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. Some of the older stuff, I agree with you. I like the older stuff. And to avoid Trump altogether as much as possible. But a lot of people still talk about him to garner a few views. Now, if you're interested, you can. Okay, I'm going to share this with you. So this is from my original crochet channel. I made a chart of President Obama at the height of his popularity. So I made this tapestry crochet thing, a picture of President Obama. And I think I got anywhere from 25,000 to 100,000 views off of that when I put Obama in it. And then it got really popular, and then it tanked. And I'm like, what did I do wrong? That's what I was thinking. What in the world did I do wrong? And why am I not getting any views off of that anymore? And I had no idea. This was when he got elected president. And so I was just making something, trying to tie it in with some of the, I wasn't that into trends at that time. I was just doing crochet. A lot of us, that's all we were doing was crochet. A lot of us were pioneers to the beginning of YouTube, and we were doing crochet videos, and that's all we were doing. We commanded YouTube for a long time. Those of us in the crafting industry, we were able to make it work until the networks came in, and they just completely overshadowed and overpowered us. And so when Disney came in, it wouldn't work for us anymore, because and these media companies were wanting us to sign on into networks and things like that. And I thought, why would I want to sign on with a network? That means someone else has to pay me. So then they told us that they told me that I would have to forfeit my YouTube pay. I couldn't get my YouTube pay if I signed on with a network, that they would get the YouTube pay and they would own my channel because then they were doing the promotions. And so they wanted to lump me on in with them. And so that's how the networks worked, was because they were going through and collecting a whole bunch of different YouTube channels into their network for the purposes of saying, well, look, we have this many subscribers. So the most subscribers I ever had at one time was 380,000. I never did reach 400,000. I had hoped I would have reached 400,000, but I didn't. And so I'm Legacy. My original channel was Legacy YouTube. And Legacy YouTube kind of became deprecated pretty fast. And we were always told to start over and start with a new channel and just keep trying, which that kind of had me thinking that Google didn't even really know how things worked. But it worked. There was money targeted specifically to channels who are trying to do repetitive content, to bring viewers to YouTube instead of the element. Now, there is an element of people who will say, well, you got to go to all these different websites. And that did work for a little bit. That was link building. And so link building was going to the popular websites. And that really did work. So I went to Facebook and Twitter, even Pinterest too. I could use Pinterest now, but I don't. But Pinterest is actually a decent place to link drop. She's not break. What is break voice? I don't know what break voice is. So I'm reading Royal Siva. I want to look at K as well. K. What prepares you cook for your house? I don't have a house. I don't have a place to live. I'm currently homeless. Uh, so I talk very slowly. So I was talking faster before and now I'm talking slower. Okay, so let me go through these comments. My vote is yours. That's from Royal Siva. Kay says, 10, TBH, I prefer to play Yellow Submarine instrumental version, not Trump. Okay, instrumental with no music whatsoever. And then what prepares you cook your house? Now, I don't have I'm homeless right now. I'm homeless after YouTube and everything failed, and from a bad marriage. My marriage, I was met with physical abuse in my marriage, and the judge, I don't know why, the judge gave my ex-husband the house, and they let him out of jail, which I thought he would have been in prison. That's what I would have thought, but they let him out, I guess, and the judge gave him the house. And they left me homeless. And so all the money that I had when I was married, I put into the house to help pay it off. So I was taking my YouTube revenue thinking that was a smart thing to do, giving my ex-husband the money because I thought we were going to be married forever. And then he became really extreme. He became an extremist to the left, related to the Black Lives Matter movements and Antifa movements and things with the DEI and lefty movements. And he became physically abusive. And so Kay says, how about a song title like Trump Trumpet, no lyrics, just an instrumental guitar music? You've got a trumpet flower too. But the Bible talks about trumpet all the time as well. The Bible talks about the seven seals and the trumpet. And so there's many ties to the United States court system. That's one thing I've noticed in my journey with search engine optimization and popular words. When you talk about seals, you've got the Navy SEALs, you've got the seal of the court system that's at the top of the clock. When a lot of these online court cases, they will zoom in to the clock and the seal, the state seals at the top. You've also have the wax seal or the embossed raised seal. You have seals in the ocean. So there's a lot of commonalities related to seals. You also have envelopes related to seals. I mean, and that's a big one too. The seal, signed, sealed, delivered, I'm yours. That's a song. Signed, sealed, delivered, I'm yours. Was that who was that? Stevie Wonder? Who sang that song? Signed, sealed, delivered. I will talk about the older songs because they're not as popular. I'll talk about the older songs because I feel like we have to look back to see how we got to where we are today, related to popularity and trends, and why some of these songs just stay popular forever. You know, when they take and they put their whole catalog of copyright music on YouTube, then it tends to surface old songs. Signed, sealed, delivered, signed. Oh, there's a drama. Yeah, Stevie Wonder sang "Signed, sealed, delivered, I'm yours," and so it's not a fact. It's not a fact that black folks were not on TV or famous back in the day for positive things because, and that's what I was. That's what was always being hounded out to me related to my second marriage. He was always telling me that black people were not portrayed positively when he was growing up. And I always said, though, that's not true. It's like, my gosh, you got Stevie Wonder and you've had Sanford and Son, and he's like, yeah, but they're clowns. And I said, you've got the what was that show with George Jefferson, the Jeffersons? And I said, he's like, I said that was a show when we watched that, and he's like, no, but JJ was a clown, and so there was so it's like he was always a antagonist and against, when I was saying that, there was black people on TV, and he's like, no, but they didn't portray real life, and so then I went down into the gutter then with him and that thought process too, and and I said, well, you know something, white people weren't portrayed good on TV either. We've have the people portrayed in the trailer parks as poor, as Appalachians, missing teeth, which that's a fact. People who can't afford dental care, they're missing their teeth and everything. And so Royal Siva says, like Vina instrument, this is crazy instruments. She talks not break voice. I don't know what break voice is. Oh, tell me your happiness movements. The last 2 years, ha ha. The happiness movements like do re mi fa sol la ti do, oh dear. I don't want to sing too much of it because even though, you know what, when I was a kid, those were the keys that we learned when doing our vocals for orchestra and warming up our voices. It was do re mi fa sol la ti do. But then they had the song on, and I started thinking about that. It's like, well, wait a minute. They've got the song, The Sound of Music. Can we even sing do re mi fa sol la ti do? Can we even sing that because they're basic sounds? And we should be able to sing that because it's just like the crochet stitches. Nobody owns them. The only thing, the publishing houses want to control everything. That's what's going on here. So when you guys are involved with a publishing house and you've done authorship deals and things like that, the publishing house owns you. That's the same thing with YouTube channels. When you get involved with a multi-channel network, the multi-channel network owns you. That's why I didn't want to get involved. Disney was after me all the time. They were hounding me all the time, wanting me to sign up with them. I got a multitude of, will you join our network? Will you join our network? Will you join our... I had probably had over 25 to 50 offers from multi-channel networks when I was teaching crochet, because the thing is they need someone. They need someone who's going to teach something that brings people back to their network. And so one of them had ties to ask.com. Ask.com, they said they wanted to pay me $50 to make a video. And I thought, why would I don't want to, $50 is nothing. I can't buy a house. I can't do anything. And at that time, I think I was making over $1,500 a month from YouTube, from the advertising. The advertising revenue was great on YouTube. And these cheap ass people from New York City wanted to pay me $50 to make a video. They said something about that. It sounded like a really bad deal, and I didn't want to participate in it. And then they said that that they would pay me $50 to make a video, and then they said I would get royalties. Some of them said I would get royalties. Some of them said that they would pay me $50 to make the video, and then they keep the video, and then I get nothing. And it's like, well, wait a minute. I mean, I know I'm not an attorney, but at the same time, I'm not stupid. And if I can't do something productive, now $50 to make a video is, no, well, there's people who have been paid $50 to write an article for a magazine. They still get paid to this day. Now, they've not gotten a raise. They've not gotten a raise, apparently, because I know back when I was younger, and at the time when my baby died, I did an article. I talked to this woman, and she paid me $50. She was a photographer from San Francisco. And so she came and talked to me and my husband about our baby that had died. And I talked about this in a video the other day. And so she came from San Francisco down to our house where we lived in California. And so she took a picture. She said she was hired by the magazine to take a picture. So she took our picture. She did an interview with us. And so we were in a magazine. The magazine was called U.S. News and World Report. That was the name of the magazine. And it was related to abortion and controversial births. That's what it was related to. And so, but her job was, she said she was a photographer, and so she just had a camera, and so she paid us $50 for doing the interview. And so, but it's my understanding that, I mean, but why in the world, I could not figure out why these people from ask.com, that's where I was writing at, and there was another woman there, and her and I, we actually kind of got along pretty well. She let me post about anything. She let me share links. She wasn't trying to control the conversation. So I had come across a lot of different places, like on Reddit right now. I can't post anything related to crochet without controversy. So there's so many people that want to control the conversation. I can't do it. I mean, so the future of the arts related to what they call the starving artist, people should pay. They should view it as something that's necessary to our society, instead of these people who want to do we're just going to jack the price up and say that I did this piece of art, and now this piece of art that I printed out on my printer is all of a sudden it's worth $50,000. Well, then, you know what? That sends up red flags for me related to money laundering. That's kind of what it does to me. Yeah, your happiness movement. Yeah, what the happiness movement. Oh, when you mention happiness movement, this is something I got when I went to Washington, D.C. to making a living on YouTube. Oh gosh, maybe I shouldn't have said that. But anyway, Luke Russert was there, and he asked me about philanthropic. And so, yes, I did an interview with Luke Russert. His dad had died. What was it? They said his dad was in a tank with, I think he was on CBS, but I'm not sure. His dad was in a tank in an M1 Abrams or something like that, and he got blood clots from being cramped in one place for so long. They said he was riding with the troops, and so his dad died. And so, but I didn't say anything. I was mortified when I went there. Now, Luke, on the other hand, he was used to doing interviews, talking to people, doing panels all the time. So I was right there with those guys, but I had no idea that I was kind of being eaten alive by a bunch of sharks who had experience because they grew up with the networks, but right now I kind of understand what the networks are, and it's like you got to meet them head on, and you got to listen to them and know when they're full of shit, and you got to call a spade and say, look, you networks are full of shit. You're causing inflation. You're either money laundering or causing inflation. Someone's targeting money specifically and directly to you. And so I'm at the point I was at this point 10 years ago too, because this has been going on a long time. I have a hard time staying quiet about it. However, I had to find a different way to go about doing it, because because of the insurrection. I had to find a different way to go about doing it. So I completely deleted my original YouTube channel. I really didn't want to, but in trying to separate, there's things I'll just never be able to separate, but in trying to separate the negative of what was being attacked towards me, um, I was being attacked. Okay, I'm going to use this as an example in an opposing way. Okay, now if I said I'm just going to exclude the word white, nobody would care, would they? No one would care one iota. I said this is what I was teaching on my original channel. What I said is, I'm just going to exclude the word white. Are white people going to care? The truth is, no, they're not going to care. Why would people care? However, another monster has been opened up with DEI. And see, I happen to reference related to using the opposing word to white. I'm not going to say what it is. I'm just going to exclude it out of my vocabulary right now. Now, people got really, really angry when I excluded the B word. When I excluded the B word, they thought that meant excluding them. And it's like, you're not that word. You're not the B word. I'm just teaching. You're killing the messenger. This is what Christians did to Jesus. They killed the messenger. Jesus was the messenger. He sat with those at the top. He sat with those at the bottom. But Jesus is neutral. Jesus is all around. Jesus is not, it just is. If you believe in Jesus, which I don't, I really don't. And I actually even got in trouble for that when I said that I'm a non-believer as well. And so in that, there's people like, oh, well, we're going to show you. It's like, okay, you go. I already know what you're going to do. You're already doing it. I've already seen that. I already know what you're going to do because you guys are part of the problem. You're part of the networks. And however, since then, is the thing I always said, well, wait a minute, what is it that dictators do? This is things I've learned through media, learned from having a military background. I said, well, with media, all you have to do is cut off the money source. It's like, who is funding these movements anyway? Who's funding inflation? Who's funding all of this? Because the truth is they want to attack the messenger. That's what Christians did to Jesus, was attacked the messenger. So Jesus was just being with people, kind of being a neutral guy, he wasn't trying to, I didn't think of Jesus as someone who was trying to be friends with everyone, but he was just trying to be there for people who didn't have anything, for people who were kind of left behind. That's always what I kind of saw with Jesus. The premise of, everybody has their own individual temple. Their body is a temple of Christ individually, and everybody's related according to the scriptures of God. Everybody, in the beginning, God just is, and then Jesus is God's son, which God would have had to have daughters too in order to have two genders instead of one. Otherwise, it's just men. And so, men are going to have to deal with that. Either we have two genders or just one. But according to God, male is not superior to female in any way whatsoever. Male is not superior to female. It can't be. Now, these men are hounding about that they miss, a lot. I can tell they miss women. They're upset for some reason, but then they lash out and they want to be anti-woman. A lot of them want to be anti-woman, which that's not a good path to go down, because then you just alienate women. That's what you do. You make yourself look bad. You alienate women. And so if you're going to be calling women a bunch of names and just to get a charge out of someone, then you're basically just trying to gaslight someone into rage baiting. I'm not interested in those kind of conversations, and so I just bow out of them gracefully and say, okay, you do it by yourself. That's not having a real conversation. So the premise we see the messenger of things being annihilated over and over and over again. So if you feel like you have to call the police on someone because they said something that you don't understand that's out of a new media, then the problem is with that person. Why are they using the police? This is what I'd like to ask. Why are they using the police to attack someone related to a YouTube channel? The gaslighting and swatting. Why are they doing that? Why is someone doing that? Why do they hate YouTubers so much that they want to create a negative anti-sentiment against YouTube channels, people who are earning money? So this is what happens. They complain a whole lot about, they don't want people utilizing government services. They don't want people on welfare. But then, okay, the opposing side is there's money on the internet for people who can try to earn a living. They don't want that either. So it's like, well, could you guys make up your mind? So your ex-wife actually found a way to make some money, or she was at one time, until you guys decided you wanted to destroy and annihilate her character in media. Or was that the black people who did it? Oh, oops, I said that word. I shouldn't have said that word. So I can just avoid using the word. If I don't want to talk about black ink, I don't have to. Or the color black, I don't have to say it. Because it just adds into all that Black Friday garbage and stuff. And it's like, well, why have they pushed Black Friday so much and so hard for a long time? There's some kind of benefit they're getting from it in media. And that came out of Disney and DEI. And when I mentioned that, that's when Disney went on the attack against me. And so I think I'm going to end it here right now because they got nasty. And it's like, I'm glad I never joined their network because I just don't see them as being a company that has integrity, especially if they have to attack people on YouTube related to an opinion just to get them out of the algorithm, and then they want their own content to be at the highest. That's what's been happening. And so that's all I have to say right now. So if you're new, hopefully you'll subscribe, and if not, we'll see you the next time. And so, yeah, I'm getting things out in little bits and pieces and chunks here, and so I don't know what the future is related, because everybody wants to have a purpose of something, and nobody wants to be just told, oh, well, just retire. Or, a lot of these politicians are saying that they're thinking about raising the retirement age up into the 70s and Medicare up into the 70s. And it's like, well, okay, you guys already know that we have inflation. Why aren't you working on inflation? Why are you just saying, well, we're going to keep raising the retirement age and Medicare age up into the 70s and 80s? And basically what they're saying is they don't want any Medicare or Social Security. They don't want to be taking care of anybody. That's what they're saying right now. So, we'll see you guys a little bit later, probably.